Hi, Halina here. So today I was listening to a replay of one of the conversations that are part of the Mindfulness and Meditation Summit that is taking place right now. And by the way, if you haven't opted into it yet, it's a free summit. Please do. It's such a amazing collection of speakers there, and really some of the most inspiring and most experienced people on earth when it comes to mindfulness and meditation. And so the one I was listening to today was with Alice Walker. And I so resonate with a lot of what she says. And I especially love this expression that she used. She said that for her, meditation is a door to joy. And I love that because we are so used to speaking of joy as something that is being brought to us. So we would say, children bring me joy, or my work brings me joy, or nature brings me joy. But really, joy is a fundamental energy. It's something that flows into this realm, this dream that we live all the time. It's there, like the air that we're breathing, but somehow we don't feel it much of the time. And so it's really about finding doors to joy, or finding our ways of opening to joy. And it's really important that you find your way of doing it, because there are really no subjective ways. Yes, meditation can be a door to joy. It certainly is for me, but for many people it might not. It depends on how they meditate, what is coming up at this time, and so on, etc. And it is really about exploring and finding out what your doors to joy are. Certainly, there are some fundamental ways that most of us will experience, and one of these ways to bring yourself back to joy, because that's what we do. We don't bring joy to us, we bring ourselves back to joy, in a sense. One of these ways you can read about in my fairly new ebook that's called Finding Joy Every Day, and that you can download for free. But today I wanted to speak about another aspect of it, because it is January, and many of us have spent the time around New Year contemplating what we want to happen the next year. So perhaps setting goals. Some may have some New Year resolutions, and kind of perhaps review how you want to spend this next year. It's a funny word, spend. It's like, it's like getting a new bag of money, a new bag of time, and then getting to spend it bit by bit. It is not what time really is, but that's how we structure it in our mind. That's how we play with it. So anyhow, I've been doing that too, and actually, this was the first time in several years where I would like really consciously think about what I want to happen this next year. And the reason why I haven't done it before, or have done it but not for quite a while, isn't because I'm completely unconscious, I hope not, but is because it has been so important for me to follow the flow of things, and to follow the impulses, follow the energy, follow the intuitions that I get. And that has worked very well for me, and life has brought to me this way experiences, people, um, work, money, whatever you can think of that life can bring us. Not to mention joy, which which life brings us doors to, and not joy itself necessarily. But all these things were given to me along the way in ways that I could never have planned for. So I practically gave up on planning quite a while ago. But then I was inspired by Andrea Pennington and her this short workshop that she did around New Year, and then later also her and Derry, with the long name, which I don't remember, but I will show it to you in a moment. Sorry, Derry. A great course that's called Diamond Life Design. And so these were ways to actually take time to think about what is important in your life and then structure your life accordingly. Now, again, this is something that I wouldn't be doing just a year ago, and the only reason why I did it right now, or not right now, but a few weeks ago, is because I had the feeling that it would support me this time around. And when I have that feeling, I go with it. And I've had some amazing experiences with that approach and with joy in that context. And what it has taught me, and this is the really funny part for me at least, is that I had this prejudice or judgment within me that structure is taking me away from joy, and flow, or going with the flow of things, opens the door to joy for me. And that, as I find out, is not completely true. What I'm learning about myself and about life and about energy these days is that structure as such can be anything, and going with the flow can be anything. So, to give you an example, I can create a structure that is so supportive of my energy that it really focuses me and brings me into such a state of presence, you could say, that opens the door to joy, because it opens to presence and to the flow of energy. And I can also, on the other hand, create a structure that is so out of touch with my flow and with my needs and with my purpose that if I follow that structure, I will definitely remove myself from that door to joy, from that experience of flow, and really from presence, because it's out of alignment. And the funny thing is that the same can be said about flow. So I can be in a state of flow where I really am very much tuned in to my energy and to where it's going right now, and to what is really important right now, and what is really close to my heart, and aligned with my purpose. And when I say purpose, I don't mean just the goals that my human mind has created for me, but the deeper sense of purpose and of service that makes life meaningful for me. And when I go with the flow and am in tune with that, and in tune with my body, and in tune with my feelings in that deeply present way, oh, there is joy in that. There is so much joy in that. But then there is another state that we also, on the surface, kind of think is going with the flow. And that is basically going with whatever is kind of, flying past us or playing in our energy. So it could be an impulse to do this, an impulse to do that, and really not going deep with any of it, but just kind of following. It's more like following the crowd of energies, rather than following the core of your energy, the essence of where you are on your path. So again, when you then follow the flow or follow the impulses in a less conscious way, and when I say conscious, I don't mean thinking, but less present way, and kind of unconscious way, then that can remove you from joy just as much as a very rigid structure can remove you from joy. So that is interesting, isn't it? And the essence of it then is maybe neither the flow nor the structure, but the alignment or the presence, and also it is very much about purpose somehow, or at least for me it is, and I invite you to find out if it is that for you too, because again, purpose is not something that I have an intellectual relationship with. It is more a sense of this is what I'm born for. It's a feeling. It's like, this is where I'm called to. This is where my soul takes me. This is what I'm here for. And there are times where we can, where we know that immediately and intuitively, and there are times where we kind of, when things get kind of muddy and foggy, and we miss that clear sense of it. And so that is like a recurring work in progress and relationship, but the feeling of it, the sense of it, is very much, in my experience, intertwined with that sense of a deep joy. Because when you are in touch with that purpose, it's like you're so in the right place. It's like everything within you vibrates from the bottom to the top and back, and it's such a vibrant and wonderful feeling, and there is such a sense of gratitude and energy and excitement and joy in that, and it really all comes together. And I hope you have that feeling in you. I know that there is a purpose to your existence. There is a purpose to each of us, and we may know it or we may not know it. And again, it can change at times the degree to which we know it, but it is there and it's worth looking for. So there is another door to joy, is to really come and get in touch with that deeper sense of purpose that no one on this planet can tell you. People can give you readings and they can channel stuff for you and they can advise you and they can support you on that way. But at the end of the day, the connection to your purpose is so much within. It is beyond words, and it is connection that you will make if you haven't yet. I didn't know when I started speaking that I would be talking about purpose, but it is so much part of my life, and has become, and that goes also, for structuring my life, and for finding out what works and doesn't work for me. It is kind of a purifying process almost. It's like learning through experience what works for me, what doesn't work for me, to which degree do I need a structure to help me align with that sense of purpose in my actions and in my inactions, and the same with flow. To which degree do I need to allow flow to be, and to let go of structure, so that I can be close to that sense of purpose and that sense of inner joy, that door to joy, keep that open. So it's really about noticing, right? It's really about finding out, I have all these different tools. People tell me how to structure or not structure my life, or they tell me how to find purpose and not find purpose. They tell me how to find joy or not find joy. Take all of it, do it, because these are useful tools. But at the end of the day, it's about you surrendering to your truth, and you surrendering to your reality, and you finding out which part of this works for me, which part of it speaks to me, which part of me is in alignment with who I am and how I am, and what kind of a person am I, what kind of a soul am I, what is my life about, what is my adventure about. And the more you can do that, like bring all those different helpers and tools in, and then relate to them in a living way, and notice what is truly best for you. The more you will align with you, the more you will become you, the more you will awaken to you, and awaken to the joyful life that is yours. Thank you for listening.